about another drowning victim by the name of Daniel Erving out of Dallas, Texas, who was 18 years old and on his high school swim team. And it appears that he succumbed to his demise on April the 13th, in which his body was found 3 days later. So I played a short clip, and then we'll kind of get into what really happened to him. So I'll go ahead and play that short clip, and we'll try to digest what happened to Daniel.
For Daniel Erving.
Justice for Daniel Erving.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump wants a grand jury to review the death of Daniel Erving.
Send it to a grand jury, build a case, argue it zealously, just as if it was your child.
Crump has joined the Erving family's legal team 3 months after the 18-year-old drowned at Lake Ray Hubbard. Police have charged 19-year-old Lucas Roper and a 16-year-old with tampering with physical evidence. An arrest warrant alleges Daniel's clothes and cell phone were discarded and that Roper deleted communications with Daniel. Neither teen has been charged with causing his death. The family also released surveillance video and says it shows Daniel getting into a car with the two teens. Daniel's mother became alarmed when his phone went dark.
I said it's just suspicious. He's not answering his texts. He's not answering his phone.
The medical examiner ruled Erving's death here an accidental drowning. But Crump says the discarded cell phone and clothing and the deleted messages between Roper and Erving warrant a deeper review.
I think the prosecutor can make the case if they have the will to make the case.
The DA's office says it doesn't comment on pending cases. In Dallas, I'm Luke Clary.
So again, there we are again with another mysterious drowning. And the thing about Daniel was that he was an actual swimmer. He was on the school swim team. And why would the two people with him take his clothes and his cell phone and his keys if they were just all swimming and he accidentally drowned? Why would they go through such lengths to remove his clothes, take his keys and his cell phone? Like, make it make sense. What is the distraction? So it's not like, he couldn't swim because he was on the swim team. So how could he be the only one that drowned? Was he struggling? What did you do to help? Why didn't you call 911? And why did it take Dallas 3 months to arrest them? I mean, they should have been arrested right away. Like, when did they start investigating? When did Lucas Roper decide that he was going to tell them that he took his clothes and his cell phone? Because he was afraid. How could you be afraid if you and a friend was just swimming? What did you do to try to save him? How did you and your counterpart get out of the water? Why couldn't you have at least drug him to shore and call 911? Like, why? What is the distraction here? And then we move on to another case that I ran across the other day, and that would be the case of Deion Tyree Walton. Now, what's interesting about his case is that he was out swimming with his YT friends. They jumped from the pier. Once in the water, allegedly, he began to cramp and turn around, face the pier, and began to call and signal for help. So what happened to the other people that was in the water with him? What happened to the people, the actually other people that was on the pier? Because there were other people there. They was having a cookout. And his uncles had left to go and get the food and other things they needed to cook out. And they called him on the phone and said, hey, you guys need to come back because it's Deion. But what happened to the other people that was in the water with him when he was struggling? And this happened, guys, on the 4th of July of 2026, the same day that Nolan Wells also allegedly drowned. Now, I'm from the South. And if you're from the South or know anybody from the South, the majority of men can hunt, fish, and swim. He was a top athlete at his high school. He played football. So he was in good shape. I could understand if he allegedly caught a cramp, but where were the other people that were in the water? Why did it take them 30 minutes to find him? Allegedly. Is there a bigger distraction here? Like, what is the distraction? But yet, I can revert back to, we had a whole senator that mysteriously got sick and passed away. He wasn't a distraction. But it appears that our young Black men that are athletes, that are good people, that are good students, they were all good students. And they all passed away in the same manner with the same group of people. Make it make sense. What is the distraction? What is actually going on? Salute Shank, thank you for pulling up. Salute Spoken Facts, thank you so much for penning the copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting. But what is a distraction? You have the city of Mississippi or the state of Mississippi. They're not being transparent. You have Dallas that are not being transparent. Now, the only thing when it comes to Deion Walton out of Alabama, that's like right down the street from Mississippi. Now, when it comes to his case, it seems that it's just basically an accidental drowning. But how much investigation did they do? We do know that he was a great student, a great person overall, and top tier athlete at his high school. Make it make sense. And the thing about it is, it was there. Let's really think about this. It was the football coach that was at the picnic as well that made the call to his uncles. If I ain't mistaken, Nolan Wells, football coach, made a statement. It's like, make it make sense. There's Nolan, and 45 minutes up the street, there is Deion that's meeting the exact same demise, allegedly. I mean, he was actually headed back towards the pier, calling for help, trying to grab onto a floaty. Where were the other people that jumped in the lake with him? They couldn't have all been underwater. And of course, the same story. They tried to jump in and find him, but he jumped in the water with other people. What happened to those people? He wasn't in the water for a long time before he caught a cramp. And cramps are can be normal when you go swimming, especially if you've eaten and not given yourself enough time before you enter the water. It's not hard to catch a cramp. But it's the same way. Um, his friends loved him, and he ran track, played football, and basketball. He was an exceptional athlete. They say he was goofy and full of life. I just want to know what happened to those people that was in the water with him. Like, he's yelling. He's trying to grab onto a floaty. Where were the other people that jumped in the water with him? We got to make this make sense. Like, what is a distraction? What are we being distracted from? That's again 3 young black men, exceptional students, great overall people, and great athletes. And from the South, I might add, who all could swim. Now, they did say that Deion wasn't a strong swimmer, but all you got to know how to do is float. Now, as of right now, when it comes to Deion, I don't see that there's a type of investigation into his drowning. I do know that the lake that they were at the house of one of the YT players on the team. So he was actually at his house. It doesn't really say, but it appears that Deion's uncles were there as well. So they left to go to the store to get other stuff for the cookout. And during that time is when he allegedly drowned. Salute Positive Vibe. Thank you for pulling up. It's good to see you again. What is the distraction? Why is it happening to our young men who are smart, who are in good shape? And again, it all seems to be centered around sports. What is the message? What is the distraction? Why does the, everything stop moving until Ben Crump showed up? Now everybody's moving. In the Daniel Irving case, they didn't say anything until July 9th. And this happened all the way back on April the 13th. Make it make sense. And it took them nearly 90 days to make an arrest. I mean, I don't buy the guy's story, because if it was just that simple, again, why didn't y'all pull him to shore and call 911? It's possible they could have saved him. But instead, you undressed him and you took his clothes and his phone and his keys, which are things that he made that was possible that he left in the car. His mom did say she knew something was wrong because his phone went dead. So all that time, his mom's calling, texting, and you had his phone. Who could be afraid to tell someone about an accident? Y'all were swimming. But instead, you took his things and never said anything. And I truly believe that once Ben Crump was involved with Nolan Wells' case, the state attorney in Texas decided that they better make a move, because the last thing they want is Ben Crump to come and bust their case open, to start looking deeper into things. They did say his autopsy revealed that he drowned. Maybe he did. But did y'all hold him underwater? Because he was on the high school swim team. So did y'all hold him underwater? But yeah, then water would get in his lungs, and yeah, it would appear to be a drowning. But if he was on the high school swim team, I'm quite sure he was a strong swimmer. Is there something in the atmosphere? Like, what is the distraction? Why do we have all these distractions? Here are two cases that I guess it'd be up to us to make them go viral. Because when I heard about Deion, I'm thinking, wait, hold on. Alabama? That's right down the street from Mississippi. And this happened on the same day? Make it make sense. What is a distraction? What is in our atmosphere? What is in our food? Like, what is really going on? All I know is we can't keep going at this rate, because it's depressing. why they didn't talk about Daniel Irving's case earlier, to the point where I'm quite sure the mom finally came out about it, because they're probably giving her the runaround there. I don't get it. When we talk about Deion Walton, I mean, when I heard about his story, when I pulled up his story, he already had an obituary, and I'm thinking, wow, same day, same Fourth of July weekend. Now, as far as the information that I've been able to find, um, not much information on his friends, the friend's house he was at, nor I haven't seen it anywhere on social media. None of his friends doing tributes. It's like, shh, no, just no information, no, time of demise. None of that information is available, and I find that strange. Like, when would this stop? Are we gonna go the rest of the summer like this? Every time we turn around, one of our young black men, our athletes, our good students, good people, just working hard trying to achieve something they dreamed about. Who knows? Daniel Irving could have had dreams of maybe going to the Olympics, going to college. What about Deion? He was a three-sport athlete, a good person, and his dreams just ended. And they just shh. I don't know, guys. What do y'all say? What is the distraction? I think it's just going to take us all to do a little bit more investigation, because me doing some research, basically it stated that due to the privacy and ongoing investigation, the local authorities in Alabama and the news outlets have not publicly released the names of the friends or teenagers present at the time. See how they're protected? See how Alabama protected them? The same way they protected them in Mississippi. It's just unfortunate we just happen to have the names of the people in Mississippi, but Alabama, they already have it shut down. They said it's an ongoing investigation. So now I guess it's up to us to make it go viral. We need to get people to come out and talk about it. Everything they do is in private. We don't have any privacy. What is the distraction? What is the distraction? Because everything they're doing is in private. Our young black boys are drowning, but they have everything private. Why is it private? He was swimming with teammates, yelling, signaling for help. He had cramp. Where were his other so-called teammates that was in the water with him? And they noted that he wasn't accustomed to swimming in open lakes. Who said that? Because you call this an open lake, but then they call it a pond. There's a difference between a lake and a pond. A pond is much smaller. And usually in the pond, the water sometimes ain't no deeper than waist deep, chest deep. There's a big difference between a lake and a pond. A pond. Trust me, there is. Of course, they reported no evidence of foul play. But sometimes if somebody's holding you under the water because they playing around too much and they were holding you underwater, you caught a cramp and went under. If they were holding you, of course it's going to look like you drowned. But what if they were actually holding you underwater? Just horse playing, even if that. Maybe they were horse playing and they was holding you underwater. And when you came up, you realized he wasn't there. So you spent 30 minutes looking for him in a pond. Make it make sense. So because my YouTube channel is not that big, like and subscribe, share the live, but we have to make their stories viral as well. Because we just can't let this go. Whatever the distraction is, hopefully through social media, we can call it out. Because these young men were exceptional young men. They were now bumming around doing the wrong thing. They were athletes, great students, great friends. But then they had YT friends decided that their lives didn't matter. Decided they wanted to horseplay, play around. And so they decided that, maybe Lucas Cooper over there in Dallas, maybe he wanted to be on the swim team, but he didn't make it. And the thought of probably losing his spot to a young black man, maybe that's why he took his clothes and his keys and didn't tell anybody that he allegedly drowned. Did he drag a minor into that? I don't know. All I know is that these are devastating situations that's going on. And we have to just keep out on the lookout for everything and everybody. Because right now, we're under attack. I don't know what the distraction is, but it's something. And I think we just have to make sure that we're aware so that we're ready. But there's definitely a distraction. Just think about it. You got 3 young black men that's getting more national attention than a whole senator that spent over 3 decades in office. Make it make sense. And not saying that they shouldn't be getting national attention. I'm just saying. Make it make sense. What's the distraction? What is the universe trying to tell us? What is the universe trying to show us? All I know is that those three young men never got a chance to live out their dreams, never got a chance to find their forever person, never had a chance or would never have a chance to recreate a legacy. So it's almost like cutting everything off at the beginning. Who knows how many beautiful children would have come from those three young, intelligent, athletic young men. So it's like it's stopping the legacy right now. No. Well, I didn't come for a long time, just a short time, just a little conversation about an observation without confrontations, just basically just trying to figure out what are the distractions, and just hope that for the ones of you that are here, that you can share the story and help their story go viral as well, because they need our help as well. We need to know what happened to them. We need to know why it happened to them. All three young Black men, all great athletes, great students, and great people. But they're no longer with us. So, again, if you like the story, just help share it so that they can also receive their justice, so that they will have a lot of voices speaking up for them as well. But thank everybody for showing up. Until the next one, salute.